Hello again, this is Lolly, and I decided to play today with some crepe paper to make a flower, and I wanted to do it on this Memorydex card. So I'll show you how I did that, and I had been looking for crepe paper streamers from thrift stores, and I had come across this yellow. So I'm making it in two layers, some outer leaves, petals, and then inner petals, and you could do green for leaves as well. And I am folding this over at about 2 to 2¼ inches. It's up to you. And I have two layers here, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I want about 8 layers, so I want 8 petals on the bottom. And I'm not being too particular about how I'm cutting because I want them to be slightly irregular, and because it's so many layers, you are going to find that each petal will be different, which is good. And I also have a 1-inch circle that I punched out with this EK Success. So all I'm going to do is basically, let me see if I can draw this so you can see what I'm doing here, because otherwise you won't be able to see it. I'm kind of drawing a little point there and then round like that. I hope that helps you to see what I'm doing. But I want to make sure I cut off the folded edges here. Let's see if I can kind of go inside my black. No, it'll show up on the flower. There, and that's all I did. Now I think I might want to get rid of this one just because it's got the black on it, and I don't really want that in my flower. Come on. So I'll try and make another one just to replace that 8th one. Okay, and again, they don't have to be perfect. So there we go. And you need some glue. I'm using Scotch Quick Dry adhesive or tacky glue, but I have put it into a smaller container with the needle point on it, the fine line applicator. So all I'm going to do is to kind of bunch up the bottom of the petal and glue that on one edge here, there, right there. And I'm going to set that on there on the edge. But what you notice is because it's folded, it wants to come unfolded. So I'm going to pick up the little folded areas and put just one little dot of glue and push it back down. Then I'm going to go all the way around doing the same thing. When you bunch it up at the bottom, the petal wants to curve, so make sure it's curved upward and not downward. Then I'm going to overlap and do the same thing and go all the way around, making sure that I go under all the areas where I have folded. Then grabbing, oops. And the nice thing about this tacky glue is it does dry pretty quickly. Again, I'm bunching and gluing, and I'll probably speed up the video here. Okay, so we've got one layer, and kind of look at it. You can see, because after a while you can't see the circle anymore, you start to not get them balanced and centered. So I'm going to cut off a little bit of this one just to make sure it's not sticking out too far. Okay, now for the next layer, I want to not make these as big. I think I said those were 2 to 2¼ folds, and I'm going to make this about 1 3/4, just under 2. And I want about 6 of these. So I have 2 now. 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then all I'm going to do, to make these shorter, I'm going to cut off the bottom edge here to make it a little bit more, the petals not quite as deep. And again, the same thing. Cut and cut. And make sure you cut those folds off the sides. And go back around and do the same thing. Alrighty, bunch it up. Now these are a little smaller, so make sure that we're not, that one didn't get put in there right. Make sure we're not going all the way out where the petal sticks there, but still toward the center of this. So it's kind of inside. And what I'm doing is I'm gluing them on. I'm kind of aiming between the peaks or the points of the ones I already have on there. Now obviously, because I'm on video, it seems like it's taking a while, but because I'm explaining as I go, but it really doesn't take that long to do these. And with a Scotch Quick Dry or tacky glue, it also glues, not glows, but glues down and adheres and dries pretty quickly. So that's really nice because you don't want to have to keep sitting here holding this with your finger all the time. Okay, and a little bit of dab there. If I ever pick my finger and the flower petal comes up with my finger, I just put more glue underneath. There you go, and then push that down just a little bit. Remember, we're not going to see the center of this because what I did was I just kind of raided my stash and I looked to see what I have for any kind of flat back resin piece that would work well in the center. You could use another paper flower in the middle, and that would be really cute too. A flower punch or anything you have in your stash. Oop, that one I can tell is sticking out too far. I'm going to pull that back toward the center. And again, the irregularity of this is what makes it look more like a real flower. So feel free to make it look irregular. And one more. And that's going to go right there. And tuck in my folds and we'll be done. Okay, so I've already looked at my stash. Now, an opposing color or an opposite color would be really cute. But I also happen to have these, which I thought were really cute. And these are hard. They're metal decorations. And somebody gave these to me. And so I just want to glue that in the center there. But it would be really cute with something red. And you can also do the same thing to make with green to make leaves sticking out from underneath it. So because this is metal, I really want this to hold on, to adhere. So I'm going to use the E6000 and stick that down there like that. Now I know with E6000 you need to use it in a well-ventilated area, and also you need to give it some good chance to dry, 20 minutes before playing with it and 24 hours for a good permanent hold. So that's one way of doing a crepe paper streamer flower. And again, where did my card go? Here's one right there on a card. And I had one of these. Again, it was given to me so you could see the difference between the two flowers automatically right there. And this one I stuck the petals further out from my piece of cardstock. Very cute. Thank you so much for watching. And if you are interested in swapping Memorydex cards or being part of an active Facebook group regarding Memorydex cards, I'm going to put a link underneath here to the Facebook group, and I'm also going to give you the link to my entire playlist for Memorydex cards, because a lot of people say, what do you do with them? How do you make them if you can't find the tools? All that information will be in my playlist of videos. And people ask, what do you do in the backs? Usually I just sign it and date it. This one I decided to put a card, an envelope on the back, because I thought it would be a good opportunity to put a little note in there for a swap partner. And these envelopes and cards are in my shop. I'll give you the link to that as well. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that inspired you to start making your own crepe paper flowers.